Hey everyone, it's UB. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be verbally explaining my thought process on my Bitcoin short position. I really wasn't going to take this scalp, but I figured this setup is pretty clean and it's a really great learning opportunity because I really like this setup in particular. So I figured why not take it, and I will make a video about it as well and things to look for in the future if you're looking for this type of price action relationship. Okay, so again, I took this scalp in my official trade section of the Haven. I tagged the members that have the scalps tag, so all of those people should have gotten that. I entered at 32,740. My take profit is just below 32K, or I'm sorry, just above 32K, 32,024 to be exact. And my stop loss is at 33,207. I could have definitely tightened up that stop loss, but anyway, let's talk about this specific relationship and why I took it, because that's really the point of this video and what's more important. So before I get into it, Bitcoin and Ethereum for the most part have very similar price action on lower time frames in general. Okay, so let's say, for example, if Bitcoin is trending up, series of higher lows, something like this, right? Where it's just clean price action, maybe we dip down, but regardless, we're trending up, right? Ethereum will most likely follow it in a similar manner, but not exactly one-to-one. Okay, so it may dip down as well, but not sweep the low. So just things like that, right? So overall, similar price action, not exactly one-to-one. I really want to drive that point home that it is not one-to-one, but they do have similar price action. Okay, so for this specific example, let's look at the bounce after the sweep of the lows earlier today. Okay, so I highlighted this area with a vertical line, so it's very clear for everyone to see. So we highlighted this area, and we could see that while Bitcoin is attempting to make some highs here, right? I'm just going to highlight it so you can see it even more clearly. Okay, so we're attempting to make some highs here on Bitcoin, sweeping highs, trying to grind up against the highs. But what's very, very important to notice is while Bitcoin is doing this, Ethereum is bleeding down. Okay, so with these two lines now, you could see how obvious this relationship is currently, right? So Ethereum is looking much weaker than Bitcoin. So you can make the argument that Ethereum will drag Bitcoin down to where it currently is. Okay, so again, they have similar price action, but it's not one-to-one. So we could definitely make the argument that Bitcoin is lagging behind here. So also, if you notice that if we put a horizontal here, if we put a horizontal here at the low, look how far below the low Ethereum is, while Bitcoin is kind of just hanging out above the low, kind of just attempting to bounce, but look how much Ethereum is dragging it down, right? So you could also say, well, this just means that Bitcoin is much stronger than Ethereum. Why would I enter into a short position? Which is definitely a fair point. And it is definitely a counter argument for this specific setup where they're diverging. But we need to keep in mind the overall trend, right? So if we were to swap to an hourly chart, we can see that the overall trend is clearly down, right? The overall trend is very much down. So we need to keep that in the back of our mind while we are looking at lower time frame scalps, like something like this, okay? So because the overall trend today has been bearish, and you could definitely argue that the overall higher time frame trend is bearish, but for our scalp, what matters is the daily trend. So our trend today is bearish. So that's why instead of longing Bitcoin and going with the argument that it is the stronger of the two, we will be shorting Bitcoin because it has more potential to continue to sell off and follow in Ethereum's footsteps. Okay, so that's all we're looking for, is Bitcoin to follow in Ethereum's footsteps and go attack that low at 32K again. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I tried my best to explain it, but this is just one of those setups that um, I've just started to track because I always saw it on lower time frames. So it's just something I started to track, and um, I don't really know if anyone else trades it, but it's something I'd look for, and hopefully it will be on your radar now to look for as well. If you guys have any further questions or comments, please, as always, feel free to share them. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.